Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pip and Pin Podcast. My name is Maema Nodecker. I'm a knitwear designer from Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada. You can find me on Instagram as Pip and Pin, on Ravelry as Knit Pip and Pin, and at pipandpin.ca. Today is October the 4th, and this is episode 80. If you are new here, this looks normal. If you've been here before, you will have noticed that I am in a completely new space. It's very exciting. I am no longer in the middle of my living room, which is kind of nice. I still have that living room. I still live there. But my mom actually spends the winters in Arizona, so she said I could kind of turn her second bedroom into an office while she was away, so that there's somebody, consistently checking up on our house and things like that. So it works well for both of us. So I've just kind of this week have been transforming this space a little bit to bring some of my work stuff over and set up my desk and see what all stuff I need. So it's really barren right now. Behind me is nothing. In front of me is lots of stuff that needs to get organized and kind of put away. So still in the moving in stages. But I was just really excited to, sorry, I had something in my eye. I was just really excited to start podcasting again. It is really hard in the summertime, especially when my daughter is home from school, to kind of fit podcasting in as consistently as I would like. But now that I have this space, I really hope that we can sit and chat more and more. And this will evolve. I'll probably move around a couple times to find my perfect spot. But I just really wanted to film a video today. So the first thing that I do want to talk about, because there's a bit of a time limit on it, is the Idea to Pattern Workshop. If you've never heard of it before, the Idea to Pattern Workshop is an online course that I do about twice a year. I have a fall session and a spring session, and the fall session enrollment is open right now until the 6th, which is Friday, but I think I'm going to leave it open until the 8th, and then classes are going to start on October 9th. And so what Idea to Pattern is a 8-week long kind of intensive knitwear designer workshop. So each week I focus on a different topic. There's 7 different topics that I kind of talk about, from sketching and swatching. We talk about the math, we talk about spreadsheets, we talk about test editors and tech editors, and pretty much everything that you will need to know to kind of start your knitwear design business. Or I've even had people take the course who really didn't have any plans to start publishing patterns or anything like that, but they just really wanted to gain some insight on how to do it to kind of further their own knitting as well. So it was created for people who are curious and want to kind of get into becoming a knitwear designer. But if you're just a knitter as well and don't really want to learn that and just kind of want to learn for yourself, I know lots of people have gotten valuable information without the business side of it as well. So what'll happen every week is new videos will kind of get released. I have at least one video on each topic, and then there's worksheets and kind of handouts and things that you get as well. So each week we'll have a specific topic with a video, with some handouts that you can kind of review and take in at your own pace. So you can watch the videos whenever you want. If you fall behind on a week, like life gets busy, if you don't have time that week to watch those videos, you can just watch them the next week and kind of catch up, or watch whenever you want. Once you buy the course, there's no time limit on it, so you just have it forever. You just have access to all of this information forever. You can come back to things later. You can save it for when you have a little more time to dedicate to it. There's at no point are you going to be cut off from any of it. There's also an online community that you will have access to, and any future things that I add to the course. I'm actually working on a sweater right now that I haven't really done a lot of the grading or anything for yet. So what I plan to do is film a video kind of that whole process from beginning to end, just of me doing it, so that you can watch it. So when I add that, whenever that may be, everyone who's purchased the course previously and anyone new will have access to that as well. And then the 8th week we do a live Q&A. So we have a Zoom meeting, we chat about our knitting. You can ask me any questions about whatever you want. And then you're done. I kind of created the course because when I first started designing probably 10 years ago or so, there wasn't a lot of information about how to be a knitwear designer. I knew it was a thing that people did, but I really didn't know how to get there. So my personal journey into this world had a lot of roadblocks, a lot of stumbling points, a lot of trial and error to see what worked for me and what worked for, my business and all these different sorts of things, photography, a lot of trial and error. There was just like so much to learn when you're doing it all yourself. And there were kind of things out there that I could learn. There were some PDFs here and there was some videos here and there were some blog posts here and there, but you really had to know what you were looking for and seek out exactly that piece of information. So with the Idea to Pattern workshop, I just really wanted to put everything that you would need to know in one place. Now, one of the questions that I kind of got asked as well, just one more point and then I'll stop talking about it, I promise. One more point is someone had asked why I do it like week by week. If the videos are pre-recorded, if the material's already there, like why can't they just get it all at once? And the reason why I did it this way, instead of just opening the floodgates and here's everything you need to know. I've taken courses like that before. I have taken some online courses as well, just on different topics, not necessarily knitting or knitwear design, but on all sorts of different topics. And I find that when you are given all of the information all at once, either one of two things happens for me. I get super excited. Like usually when I'm doing a course, I'm really excited about it. I'm super jazzed about it. So I open it up and I do everything. I watch everything. I do all the worksheets. I do everything. And I just don't really give myself the time to actually absorb what I'm trying to learn. I just kind of blow past it really quickly. And I burn myself out. So by the end of this course, I'm like done. And then I don't have any energy left to like actually put into practice what I was learning about. So that's kind of the one thing that happens to me. The other thing is this happens more often than not when there's too much information thrown at me, is I will open it up and I will click on a couple links and I will get so overwhelmed that I will just shut it down. Like, nope, can't do this. So I've spent all that money and I still have like, I could still log in and go and try and find information if I needed to, but I just find it very overwhelming. And then I just, no, not today. So that's kind of why I do it week by week, because I just wanted to give enough time for each topic so that you can really absorb it, so you don't burn yourself out, and so you can really sit with that for the week or however long. Once it's all, once the 8 weeks is done, you'll have all the information. But that's kind of why I did it the way that I did it. Yeah, so I'll make sure I put a link down below to enroll. And yeah, I was going to close it on the 6th, but I'm actually going to close it on October 8th, so on Sunday. So even if the website says the 6th, try signing up anyways, because I'm just going to close it right on Sunday night. And then Monday morning, your first week of stuff will start, so you can get right into it. Speaking of kind of workshops and online stuff, over 2 weeks 2 weeks ago, I guess, was Knit City Vancouver. And if you don't know, Knit City Vancouver is a big fiber festival in Vancouver. They have workshops, they have a marketplace, they have all sorts of things. It's wonderful. I've gone every single year. Most of the time, last year was actually the one and only time I've ever just gone to Knit City. I've always been a vendor before that. And this year, I wasn't a vendor, but I was a teacher. So I taught 3 workshops. I did 2 on how to alter sweaters, like alter sweater patterns to fit you. And then I did one I did like a very condensed version of idea to pattern. So on kind of knitwear design and things like that. And those were my very first in-person workshops. So that was really exciting. And I was really nervous about it. Speaking on the internet with this like barrier, this screen barrier, is much less intimidating, I find. But I was really nervous like leading up to it for sure. And I was definitely like in my living room. I had my chalkboard. I was like practicing for days. all of the things I wanted to teach about. But then I got in front of the class on my very first day, and that all kind of went away. And I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like because knitters are so amazing and like welcoming, I didn't get those weird, judgy, I don't know. It just felt really good. So I really hope to be able to do that more in the future. I mean, I had a really awesome experience. And now there won't actually be a Knit City Vancouver next year because they're moving to Calgary next year. And then they're switching back and forth every 2 years between the two. I know they do that they also have a Knit City Toronto and a Knit City Montreal. So in the spring, they switch between Toronto and Montreal, and then now in the fall, they're going to switch between Vancouver and Calgary. So maybe I'll be in Calgary next year. Who knows? On that topic, I did get some feedback from those workshops too, and they said one person said that they really loved the in-person workshop, but that they had taken some online stuff with me before. Every once in a while, I'll do a little, 1 or 2 hour topic talk thing, whatever. And they were hoping that I would still be doing that. And I do really want to still do short little ones like that, maybe even bigger ones. I don't know. But if that's like, is that something that you guys are interested in? Do you want more kind of online learning things? And not just about knitwear design. Like I've done a couple about altering sweater patterns. That's what my 2 of my classes were all about, altering sweater patterns. So I actually have lots of information that I already have put together. Are there any other topics that you might like want to learn about, or any, anything that, just anything? What would you want to learn from me? Because maybe I'll start doing, now that I have this space, I can probably start doing more interactive, more online Zoom things with you. So I'm really curious to know what kinds of things you would be interested in. That was a very long time talking about not really knitting. This is going to be a long one, guys. I have a lot to say. I haven't even, Knit City happened 2 weeks ago. So there's a whole pile of new stuff sitting beside me, and all the whips that you haven't seen. But before we get to that, I don't have any finished objects because I don't even really know what I talked about last time. So we're just going to skip over the finished objects for today. But I am going to talk about this guy. This is, sorry about that. This is my newest pattern release. This is the Fairweather Sweater. And it is just everything that I want in a sweater. It's oversized. It has this nice big V-neck. It has 3/4 sleeves. And now that wasn't really on purpose. But I'll talk about that in a minute. Nice and big. I'll stand up. Maybe you can see it. It's nice and drapey, super, super drapey. And then my favorite little detail, of course you're not going to be able to see it, there we go, is this kind of V-shaped hem, and like split hem. Normally if you split a hem, you kind of just work these straight. I actually added some decreases because this is knit top down, so I did add some decreases to kind of make this cool V shape, and yeah, it just kind of moves, it goes. I'm really, really happy with it. I wear it constantly. Sometimes, when you finish something that you knit and you really love it and you think that you're gonna wear it and then you never really do, this is not that. It's very easy to dress up. Like, you can really make it really sharp, or it can be super casual. Like today I'm wearing it with some oversized jeans, my sneakers, I got my necklaces on. Like, it's just a cozy, comfy pullover. The yarn that I used to make this is a fingering weight yarn, and it's an MCN, so merino cashmere nylon. The cashmere is what gives it that, like, it's not heavy, like it doesn't make it heavy, but it does have a little bit more weight than something just like a merino or merino nylon. So it does have that bit of drape. It's also what makes the yarn a little bit glowy. I find cashmere usually adds that little bit of glow to the yarn. And this is by a Canadian dyer. They are sisters from Quebec, and it is Entre-Sources-Elaine, and it's their Malo base. Yeah, so it's their MCN, and I think the colorway is called Girl Bell, but I'm pretty sure it's discontinued. I was looking through their website to see if I could find it to link it. I couldn't find it, but they do have two other pinks that are very, very similar. One's a little bit lighter, and I think one might be a little bit darker, but they both have that same like muted kind of tone. I just noticed this too, the central double decrease. How can you not love a central double decrease? It's just so pretty. Yeah, and if you want to make your own Fairweather sweater, you can find it on Ravelry, and you can find it in our shop. I'll make sure to put the links down below. And you can use the code Fairweather for 20% off until Friday. Yeah. So you have a couple more days to use that discount. If you are signed up for our newsletter, you will have a little bit more of a discount if you find that email. If you're not signed up for our newsletter, you should sign up for our newsletter, because you will get a little bit of a bigger discount when we have new releases. Plus, you'll be able to, learn more stuff. I send out an email maybe once every 2 weeks or so. So, yeah. All right, moving right along. Yeah, like I said, I did not go back to see what I talked about last time because I feel like it was a really long time ago. So I don't have any finished objects to share. Oh, I was going to tell you why these sleeves are 3/4 length. Okay, so the original intention was to have them full length and really like oversized, kind of, not oversized, but just not fitted sleeves at all. But I ran out of yarn. So I think I had 4 skeins of yarn, and I knit the whole body first, and then I did the sleeves with whatever was left. And I'm actually really glad that it worked out that way, because I don't know, now that I think about it, I have like 3 3/4 length fingering weight sweater designs, but I love them all. I wear them all so much. So if you wanted to make these full sleeves, you absolutely could. That was my intention, but the reason I didn't was just because I ran out of yarn. And I even emailed them and I asked if they had any left, and they said no, but that's okay. It all worked out for the best. And it was funny, this morning actually, I was walking my daughter to school, and she has this like light green oversized sweater that she got probably 2 years ago, that I just thought looked so comfy and so cozy, and I wanted one. I was like, I want that sweater for me. And I did actually find a similar sweater in beige. I've probably worn it on the podcast before because I wear it all the time. But it has that same feeling, and it was V-neck as well, but it was, it was just this big, comfy, cozy sweater. And this sweater is actually based on that sweater. So that was kind of my train of inspiration. So this actually came from, my 9-year-old's wardrobe because I wanted one. And that's what's cool about knitting, is you find something and you want it and you can just make it. All right, so if we want to go into whips now, we have some works in progress, and I'll kind of start, with these guys. Oh, I did get a couple of bags made recently, and I custom made them. Well, I didn't custom make them, but I custom ordered them because I just wanted a couple of like really plain bags for walking around with. I walk and knit quite a bit, so I wanted something with a strap on the right spot, because the one bag that I had before was literally like, it was falling apart. It was made with, like, I made it with some sort of vinyl something, so all the vinyl was starting to flake off. Like, it was an old, well-used bag, and it was like just shedding everywhere, like little bits of vinyl at the bottom of my purse constantly. So I decided it was time to get some new bags, but I didn't want to make them because I'm just not into sewing right now. So I custom ordered them from LB Tree. You can see the thing there. I'll make sure to put a link to it down below. And you can custom order all sorts of things from her. It's pretty amazing what she does. And I told her, I'm sorry that I'm super boring. But this yellow is kind of like an oiled cotton. And then I just got black kind of accents, and then a little bit of black and gold lining. And then this one is waxed canvas, and it's kind of this like pale red. It's not pink. It's pale red. And I love waxed canvas, how it like gets all crunchy like that. I don't know, I love it. And then I decided to go with pink on that, just for fun. And what did she put inside this one? Oh, we have kind of like a gray. I thought this was going to be darker. I thought it was going to be like a charcoal. That's okay. Anyways, inside these bags, I have some stuff. The first one here is, I'm almost done, but I'm having a really hard time finishing them. So this is a pair of socks for my daughter. They're Afterthought Everythings, which is essentially when you knit a big tube and then you cut it in half and you add your heels and toes and cuffs to it. So this one has been knit and cut, and I'm working on the second toe here. There you go. And so this is knit with a self-striping yarn. This is Knit Picks Felici. I can't remember the colorway name, but these are going to be for my daughter. So I think I did 56 stitches. So they're a little bit thinner, and then I haven't cut the heel yet, so I'll have to get her to, we'll measure where she is, and because she was sad, she just grew out of her favorite pair of rainbow socks, so this is good timing. And then of course she picked, the most brightest, rainbowest self-striping yarn that I had, which is kind of perfect because that's who I bought it for, essentially. And then she picked this for the heels and toes and cuffs. And it is, I don't actually know what it is. It is sparkly, and it has kind of this green and pink and purple in there. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. But I don't know how I love it together. But she does. So that's great. But I think that's why I'm having a hard time finishing these. It's maybe 2 hours to get these done. And I'm just powering through. So I'll maybe finish up the heel or this second toe. I did this on a drive we did the other day. So I just need to carry them around and have it be the only thing that I'm knitting on, and then they'll get done. But that's the thing, like, we went to the movies the other day. George and I went to see the Barbie movie, and which, amazing, I loved it. If you haven't seen the Barbie movie, go see the Barbie movie. Anyways, I couldn't knit these in the theater because I was at the toes and doing decreases and stuff, which actually leads me to what's in the other bag. And that is another pair of socks. And of course, I'm kind of in the middle of a row, but this is going to be another pair of afterthought everythings, except it's kind of funny. When we were going out the door, I was just going to provisionally cast on one end because that's usually what I do, but I had a pair of socks that I just know I'm not going to finish the second one, so I'm going to rip it out, but I had the cuff done. So I stole the cuff. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I mean, it looks really nice with this color, but it's just a white cuff. And then so I just picked up my stitches there. So yeah, I might just keep this, but it was quicker than doing a provisional cast on. So that's what I did. And I used this yarn from Bigfoot Fiber Company. And I got this many years ago. I went to Bellingham to the yarn store there, which I can't remember the name of, and they were having a trunk show with Bigfoot Fiber Company, and so I picked this up, and I just never cast it on for some reason. It was just never the one that I picked up, and it's called Sugar Plum. It does look kind of like Christmassy. But it just, today was the day. What was cool about it too was, I mean, I picked up, because this was attached to other things, so I like picked up the cuff, and I didn't even join this yarn or anything. I just threw it in my bag and took it with us. And then as I was knitting in the movie theater, I couldn't see it. So I had knit probably about this much without seeing what the fabric even looked like. So it was really cool to see it all knit up after not, you know, usually you look down and you see what you're doing and what the fabric looks like. No, this is a complete surprise, and I was very pleasantly surprised. So now I've banned myself from working on these until Georgia's socks are finished, because if I just go gung-ho on these like I want to, because I want these on my feet, her socks will never get finished and she'll be a sad kid. So we'll finish hers first, and then I'll get to mine. But I do always like having at least one pair of socks or sock tubes on the needles, so that, yeah, when I'm walking or watching a movie or doing something where I don't need to look at it, I can just pick it up and go. All right, and I also have two sweaters that I'm working on. So let's start with this one, because this one is just about done. It was done. And then I changed my mind about things. So this is actually kind of the companion pattern to, earlier this year I had released a hat pattern called Pacific Rainforest Hat, and it had all these kind of like raindroppy things on it. This is the sweater that kind of goes along with that, and it's nearly complete. So it is a bottom-up yoked sweater, and it has this kind of raindrop pattern, and as you can see, the kind of dots dissipate as you finish the yoke. And that was fun to figure out. I don't even know if you can see that. Oh yeah, you can. You're good. The color is a little off, but that's all right. This yarn is a Knit Picks. Again, this is their Wool of the Andes in Amber Heather. So it's this beautiful, like, heather and orangey brown. My favorite color of all time. Yeah, so that is, again, I think it's kind of bracelet-y length, but I am adding some to the sleeves. The thing, it was totally complete. I was writing up the pattern, and then every time, you know, when you put it on and it's just not quite it, I really don't like publishing patterns like that because if I don't think it's quite it, then someone else is going to think it's not quite it either. So I always try to make my sweaters, like, I just want to feel really good in them. So I didn't feel really good in this sweater, so I kind of put it to the side for a while. That's usually what I do when I can't figure something out or I don't know why something is bugging me. I just like put it away for a little bit. And then the other day I put it on and it was like, oh, of course. Like the answer was so obvious. All I had to do was the hem is a little bit wider here. And then I have just little 1-inch cuffs on the sleeve, and I had a 1-inch collar as well. And that was the problem. The collar and the cuffs needed to be bigger. They just needed to be longer. So I tried this on the other day, and that was it. Yeah, I just unpicked my bind off here and knit another inch onto it, and now the collar is perfect. And then so now I'm just working on the first cuff, and then I'll do the second cuff, and then I'll reblock everything, and it will be amazing. Also, this is my first time working with Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. It's a worsted weight yarn, and it's just 100% wool. And I really like it. I'm using a size 8 needle kind of for the body, and it's very like, it's very light, but it's very drapey. I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. And it's soft. It's not scratchy. And it was very reasonably priced. You don't have to spend a whole ton of money to get something really great. I think this whole thing maybe cost me, I don't know. I can't remember. But I know their 50-gram balls are not crazy expensive. So if you want something a little more economical, Knit Picks is totally the way to go. And I would definitely recommend Wool of the Andes. I thought it would be scratchy, and it is a little bit kind of when you first knit it, but then after you block it, that's the key. That's when it like blooms and does all its amazing things. So now I'm very excited. I just did this last night. The epiphany came and it was like, oh, that's what I need to do. So I started doing it. Now I'm very excited about this sweater. And it's a little bit shorter than some of the other sweaters that I've designed. So we'll see how that goes. Generally when I make a shorter sweater, I end up lengthening it. But maybe this will be the one. Maybe this will be the one that just stays shorter. It's not cropped or anything. It hits kind of like at my pants line. Or the top of my pants. That's what I meant to say. All right. And then one last whip to show you. Which of course I was also in the middle of a row here, but I did have the mind to put stoppers on. This guy is a new design called Maema DK. So it is the DK weight version of one of my most popular patterns, the Maema cardigan, which the Maema, if you don't know, it's a fingering weight, kind of 3/4 length sleeve, raglan, open front cardigan. So this is the DK version, and instead of doing 3/4 sleeves, I did these full length long sleeves that do balloon out a little bit. They're not huge. Let's see if I can kind of put them on for you. Oh yeah. So the sleeve is not giant. Like, it's definitely roomy, but still like wear it every day kind of thing. And then it just has a little bit of a poof puff at the wrist. That's the word I was looking for. At the wrist. And then nice and roomy everywhere else. And then it's also going to be open front. So it has this kind of textured brioche in the front and the back, and then stockinette sleeves, just like the classic Maema. And then I just don't know exactly what I want to do with the collar yet. I also don't quite know the length that I want to do it yet. So right now it's about hip length. and I'm debating going longer. But I think what I'll do is do a full wet block on what I have and then make those decisions, because this is a superwash yarn. This is Flock Fiber DK, which is a superwash merino in spiced pecans, which is this gorgeous orange, burnt orange color that I've been in love with for my whole life. Ever since I saw it, I've been in love with it, and then I finally bought some at last year's Knit City. Yeah, so since it is superwash, I am anticipating it to grow as well. So I think I will do a wet block, see what it's actually doing, and then make length decisions and color. I'm thinking like something thicker, like the Maema fingering weight one. It just has like a 1-inch band in the front, kind of in all the way around, which is nice. But I feel like with these bigger sleeves, the longer length, it might need something a little more substantial. So if you have any ideas, maybe a shawl color, we'll see. And those are the kind of the 4 things that I've been working on. There was another towel that I cast on kind of in the middle of summer that I like, but it was kind of one of those things that I cast on because I needed something to work on, and like I just wasn't ready for sweaters yet. I just needed to like a jolt to my creativity, or almost a brain break. I don't know. Sometimes those designs just happen though, and I'll get halfway through it and then decide, nope, this isn't like actually something I want to finish. But it was what I needed in that moment to get myself out of whatever funk I was in. So I don't feel like the need to show it, because I'm probably just gonna rip it out anyways. It's lovely, but just not what I actually need. So do you want to see some stuff that I got at Knit City? I got lots of goodies. First off, I did get some swag. This was a gift, part of a gift for being an instructor there. I got this drawstring bag, Knit City Vancouver, and then I purchased the matching sticker. It's very shiny. There was also white ones, but I figured why not get the shiny one. So I got that little bag. And then before Knit City had started, I had actually talked to Kate of Fiddly Dye Works, and last year I had got a skein of her worsted weight yarn in the color Goose, and I made a hat with it, and I wore that hat every single day. So I asked her if I could pre-order some yarn for a new design, and so she is providing yarn support, which means she's given this to me to design with. So thank you very much, Kate. I'm super excited to make a sweater with this. And I'm thinking, it's a worsted weight yarn. It's very round. The color is gorgeous. It's this really dark, warm gray. So it's almost between a brown and a gray, and very dark. So not like a charcoal gray where it's just gray. It's very, very warm. And it's superwash merino. So I figure something cabled cardigan is kind of what has been in my mind for this yarn. I have lots of yardage. So that is something that will be happening. It's still this one's still churning around. I don't actually have any concrete ideas about what I'm starting next, but that's kind of what I'm thinking for this, is some sort of cabled something. Yeah, I love Kate's yarn so much. If you couldn't tell, I have lots of designs that use her yarn because it's amazing, and her colors are just, I just love her colors. And then generally at Knit City, there is a Kate and Jenny share a booth, and Jenny is Lone Larch Designs, and I've shown you her stuff before because I have a few of her bags, and she gifted me this bag, which has little mushrooms and hedgehogs and squirrels and things on it, and a gorgeous little leather handle. And this one is perfect for, I like having like 2 skiing projects in here, or hats or socks or things are really nice too. So it's just a really nice size with the boxed bottom there. And then of course we had to stop at, I can never remember her shop name. Atelier. I will have to put the link down below. Sorry. Starts with an N. I can never remember it. On Saturday, after my morning class, my husband and my mom and my daughter all came out to Knit City to the marketplace, and Georgia found these. And what this is are a tiny pair of scissors that are little cat paws. So she got the white ones and I got the black ones, and she is starting her own little notions bag. So she is very excited to put some little snips in there in her bag, and I love them too. They're so cute. What other goodies did I get? Okay, so it's so funny because at certain times I will buy multiples of the same color, and I used to really fight it and be like, oh, I don't need this yarn because I already have this color and this, you know, different yarn or whatever. I've since stopped fighting it. Not that I never branch out, but I like the colors that I like when I like them. So I have a sweater in this color, and I actually bought 2 yarns in this color recently. From Knit City, I got this. And it is this beautiful kind of medium sage color. This is from Bramble Ridge, who is very local to me. She lives just across the bridge. And this is an organic wool linen DK. And I was looking for a linen something. I don't know. I just wanted to work with it. I think linen wool blends are so lovely. And this is our colorway Eucalyptus. And I was going to get, like originally I had thought about fingering weight, but she had a sweater knit up in this, and it was just the softest and weightiest, and I don't know, it just had such amazing fabric. So I did go with the DK because I wanted kind of the same fabric, and I got, it was funny, there was a lady who was standing beside me, and she was looking at the fingering weight and I was looking at the DK weight, and we were both looking at the same color. And I bought all of the DK weight. And then I think she ended up buying all of the fingering weight as well for a sweater for herself. So I have 6 skeins of this. I have no idea what this is going to be yet, but I figure it will be something really nice for spring or summer even. Yeah, I'm not sure what this will become yet, but I do have, I made the Herrera top out of this exact color, and I wear it all the time. I love it. I also, while we're on this color, I did not buy this at Knit City, but while we're in this color, I was at Walmart the other day, and I saw they had just put out a new display of this yarn, and this is Lion Brand Respun Thick and Quick, and it's a polyester yarn. It's 100% recycled polyester, and their Thick and Quick is something that I've used a lot, and it's, I think, like 80% wool and 20% nylon, or flipped, I don't know. But this, I don't know, usually with acrylic you can kind of feel it, but this is very soft, it's very nice, and you'll be able to wash it. So I'm pretty excited to test this out. This is their spruce colorway, and I bought enough of this for a sweater. And when I got this, I didn't even realize, but it's literally the exact same color. Except the funny thing about this, and it doesn't happen with the Bramble Ridge. Right now, I have my little box studio light. It looks green, like it looks sage. In the store, it looked sage. But when I take it outside, or when there's really natural light, it turns gray, like a light greenish gray. But it definitely doesn't look as green as this when it's outside, which I don't know. I think colors like that are super fun. So I don't know, I'm going to make some sort of big cardigan with it. I might actually, Jane Richmond had a cardigan come out last year that I test knit. I was thinking about designing with this yarn, but I might just knit that cardigan again. The one that I test knit, I think I just chose the wrong size, and so it wasn't as like big and oversized and cozy as I wanted it to be. So maybe I will just make that out of this. And then in that display, I don't know, they were just like knocking it out of the park with those colors. Hang on one sec, I'll take it out of the bag. All right, so I also saw two colors that I think would make a really, oops, throwing stuff around everywhere. I think would make a really awesome giant shawl with like mosaic knitting. So this is Cameo, which, I mean, yep, it's pink. And this is whipped cream, which is, yeah, just a lovely, lovely cream color. So I thought those two together were very pretty, and I feel like they would make like a big, chunky statement triangle scarf with mosaic knitting. I don't know exactly yet, but I just wanted some big fun yarn, because big fun yarn is fast and fun. Back to Knit City though, because there was more stuff that I got from Knit City. Oh, also from Fiddly Dye Works, I got this because she wanted me to test out her new colorway. This is called Walsh, and it's very similar to everything that I love, but it's kind of this pale, gray green. And this is her BFL sock, which I haven't really used too much BFL before, but it feels really nice. So I feel like this will make a really, really nice pair of socks. I'm very excited to try this out. Yeah, this is the Walsh colorway. Make a nice sweater too. All right. I have. Okay, I'll do this one, and then I have one more sweater quantity. Now this is Moda Wool Dreamers. And okay, so now I just talked about how usually there's a color that I like stick with, and I just buy it, multiples of it, and it's fine. Every time at Knit City, there is also one color that I buy multiples of without even realizing it, that is so outside of my color wheel, that I just, my friend Sam, when I was showing her, you know, what I had just picked up, she looked in my bag, and then she just had this smirk on her face. It's like, what? Well, it's just not a you color. Like, well, it's not a me color yet. But yeah, so every year there is like a weird color that works its way in, and this year it's lavender. I don't own anything lavender. I've never made anything in lavender, but I was just really drawn to it this year for whatever reason. So I got this. This is Moda Wool Dreamers, and I got this as a gift from Your Next Knit. And Your Next Knit is a brand new online yarn shop, local to where I'm at here, and so they wanted to gift me with something from their thing to play around with. I don't know what this is going to become yet, but the cool thing about this line of yarn and their display was beautiful. I was in there for like 10 minutes just trying to decide on something, but everything went together. Like I found with this specific line of yarn especially, you could pair any 3 or 4 or 6 yarns together and they all worked. And I love when stores are thought out like that, and I love it when yarn brands are thought out like that as well, where you can just, there was a dyer, I think from Quebec as well, who just, their whole booth just went together. And it's so lovely, and it makes shopping so easy, because now I can go, if this is something, that I want to make a color work something with, or stripes, I can just pick 4 colors of and make it, and they'll just look good because there's no wrong choices. I think it's wonderful. This is color 207G, but it's lavender, and I like it. And you can find this at yournextknit.com. I'll make sure I put the link down below there as well. Maybe mittens or something? I don't know yet. All right, and lastly, this is some yarn that I got, because I went to the marketplace on Saturday with my, like I said, my husband and my mom and Georgia, and it was awesome to go around with them and like see everything, but that wasn't my buying mode. I wasn't there to shop, really. I was just there to look. And there was one yarn in particular that stuck out to me, and I just could not stop thinking about it for the entire day. And it's this. It's Tuka wool fingering in this pea green heathered wonderfulness. Yeah, I love it so much. I've never worked with this yarn before, but I wanted to try, I wanted to try a sticky yarn like this. And I instantly just thought of like a color work, something with a little bit of color work, maybe not a yoked sweater, cardigan. I'm feeling cardigans right now. So I was talking with Christine, the owner of this yarn shop, Wool and Waves. Wool and Waves. They are also in BC. And they are an online yarn shop with amazing things. And she's actually sponsored me with this yarn to design something. So that was super exciting. So we kind of made a plan to have something ready, whether I go to Knit City Calgary or not, but they are. And so we want to have something ready for Knit City Calgary, which will be next summer. So I got a bunch of these, and this is going to be the base color. And then I picked up this cream as well, and this kind of beigey something. And then again, we landed on this lavender, which, originally I kept going back to like this color palette, not this yarn, of course, but they had a kind of a burnt orangey in this yarn as well. And so I kept kind of thinking about this, still with the main, it's the green, and then these kind of as some sort of little color worky bit. But it just didn't feel right. And then all of a sudden there was this purple again. And I don't know where this purple came from, but how cute is that going to be? I don't know what it's going to look like yet. But I think it's going to be amazing. And I think color work, cardigan, shawl collar, light, easy, casual, kind of my whole MO. So I'm excited to start swatching and things with that. I'm going to finish up the other 2 sweaters that I've got going on, and then I'm really going to start digging into some of this new stuff here. And that's it. That's what I got at Knit City. I think that's everything. I got some little mini skeins because Georgia really wanted to make some mushrooms. So I think we're going to learn how to crochet some mushrooms just for fun. So I got her a couple little mini skeins. And It's really great to be back. It's really awesome to have a space where they can just come and film. If you have any workshop ideas, if you are interested in online things, tell me about it. Tell me what you want to learn about. I'm super curious, and now that I have this whole space available, I feel like I can really start doing more things like that. So I want to do what you want to do. And check out this sweater on Ravelry on Instagram. Use the code Fairweather for 20% off. And yeah, if you are interested in knitwear design at all, the Idea to Pattern workshop enrollment is going to be open until Sunday. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sticking around for this whole hour. I had lots of fun. It's really nice to be back. So we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.